Okay, it's getting on in the afternoon, kind of. Let's just move that over a bit. Whoops, there we go. Another great beginning for one of my videos. There we go. Kind of good. Kind of not good. That's a bit better. Getting late in the afternoon, and that's okay. I have a few things I want to do. I'm obviously continuing the same project that I was before. I have a working version of my application running. There's the output. Let's see if it's running at the moment. It might not be. Nope. So, and that's an issue that I want to address. The fact that every time I lose my connection, my application stops. Obviously not a good thing for an application. We'll go back into the dashboard and restart it. Oops, got to go into the right directory first. So cdpr, right, and now we'll restart it. Okay, now it should be running again. And there it is. So, what we managed to do last time is get Node.js with Express up and running, database up and running, all configured, and my application connects to the database, and on an API request accesses the database and sends me some data in JSON, which I could format however I wanted later, which I would. But right now I don't need to do anything like that. So there's a few things to do. One of the resources that I ran across, it was one of the earlier ones actually, and it helped me get on track with a lot of this stuff, was by Taylor Jadin, called Installing Foundry on Reclaim Cloud. And I'm going to put that in my article here. So, okay, and what this article really did for me is it made it pretty clear that I'm dealing with this special Node application that comes pre-installed with Gelastic, or whatever it's called now. Was it or something? They should have just stayed with the same name. It made more sense. Anyhow, so, and interestingly, he had this post sitting in his drafts, but he did publish it last March. So, okay. So he's installing something called Foundry Virtual Tabletop, and I could do that, but I don't really need Foundry Virtual Tabletop. It's for role-playing games, and I don't have enough friends to do role-playing games. Just going to move this camera a bit. Oh, I went a bit the wrong way, eh? Okay, how about that? And see, video production live in your screen. Okay, so now let's see. He made an environment pretty similar to the way I did, except just JavaScript. He didn't do the database edition, so that's partially why I didn't really need it, or really didn't want to do this. But okay, so one thing, you'll also likely want to hit the SSL button and enable built-in SSL, particularly if you aren't going to be mapping a custom domain. Now, I'm pretty far into this project, and I don't know if I can still do that. But let's go to it. Here's the environment. And where was the hit the SSL button? See if I can't find it here. Application server. I don't really see it. There. No, access via SLB. I don't know. So it's not really clear from this. Make that a bit bigger. Exactly where the SSL button is. Is it this SLB thing? I don't think so. Well, I'm accessing it. Oh, access via shared load balancer. Okay. Oh, well, that's interesting. All right. public IPv4. Yeah. Probably could have done that. Probably should have done that, but oh well. I still don't see the SSL thing though. Application servers on. No, don't see it. So let's try to get some help. See, you'll like me. Does it say? No. Okay, so let's look up on Reclaim, or look up on Google. Activate SSL button. Reclaim cloud. Okay. Okay. It's a bit nammy. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is another one of Taylor's articles. See, I guess he really knows this pretty well. It's a nice trick, but I don't know what he's doing. Oh, redirecting HTTP to HTTPS. So, but he doesn't say anything about hitting the SSL button. All right, I'll put out a request on Mastodon and see if I get a response. Probably should have done that before the video, but maybe I'll get this in real time. Okay. Okay. But let the record show, I actually did try to find it. I'm still trying to find it. Oh, there. Up there. That looks like maybe that might be it. Let's try. Go back to Reclaim Cloud. SSL. Yeah. Built-in SSL. Okay, that's it right there at the top. Okay. So let's turn it on and apply it. Applying SSL. And did it break? No. Oh, very nice. Okay, so let's update the article here. Okay, so I forget what step number I'm on because this is from yesterday. Step 6, something like that. I don't know. Let's go back and find out. So this is the article I wrote yesterday on this. So that was step. It was a long step. Set up the node REST environment. That's step 7. Okay, step 8 then is where we're at. Okay, step 8. Turn on SSL in the button is in the upper left hand corner. Okay, so I'm just going to come back here to it. Okay, and I'll just take a copy of this and we'll capture this and we'll save the image. Images, I've added a few other new ones since. Okay, node 10. Node DB10. Okay, and I'll save that and upload. Oh, I forgot to annotate it. I think I can still, here we go. Big thick red line. There, you'd be hard pressed to miss that. Save that. Just overwrite the previous one. Good, and now we'll insert it. Again, a gazillion clicks to insert an image. You'd think it'd be easier, wouldn't you? Okay, we'll make it a bit bigger. There we go. So that was step 8, and that was a subheading. All right. Step 9. Now, step 9's a bit interesting. Step 9 is the step where we'll address the fact that it shuts itself off and every time I lose my connection. So, start application automatically. So, this instruction, as it's written here in Taylor's article, is a bit specific to the Gelastic thing. Now, I'm just correcting spelling. But let's come back to that. Let's have a look at this and we'll see what he says here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the sample node application that comes pre-installed. So, and the sample node application is the one in the root directory, root all in capital letters. And you might recall from before, there it is, right? So here's my application, and there's the root application. I don't think I can make this bigger text for you to see, but oh, I wish there was a way. I'm sure there is a way. There must be a way of just like, you know, you just zoom in on these things in this application. I'll have to learn that. Anyhow, so I could just delete it all from here. You don't have to, but the thing is, this is what's going to run if you just try to, you know, if you just go to the root URL. So if I got rid of all of that, see, this is that application in root that's running, and it basically opens up a canvas and uses Node to manage the canvas. I like it. I like this application a lot, and I don't want to delete it particularly, because why would I? It's a perfectly good Node application. So, okay. Maybe I'll have to. I don't know. Okay, and I'll just go back to my application now. There. Oh, and it can't seem to connect to it. I wonder why. Try again. Oh, right, because it's not an HTTPS. Or maybe... Well, that's kind of interesting. Huh. Does this work in HTTPS? Yes. Okay, also the problem is the application stopped again. See? Same problem as before. It's because I had to restart the server when I put in SSL. Okay. So I'll just get out of there and I'll come back into the SSH. So that's here. SSH in there, web SSH. And we'll come in again and cd programming languages and then node index.js. Yeah, I suppose I should have tested that HTTPS before doing anything. There we go. Oh, it failed. Why? Program try again. Oh, well, isn't that interesting? SSL received a record that exceeded the maximum. Learn more. Well, that's interesting. Well, I'm not finding anything particularly helpful in the search results. So let's try to... Okay, and I'll just have to reclaim on the end. The error indicates SSL is not correctly installed for the domain. Typically means that the certificate would need to be reinstalled. Okay, let's try shutting it down and then restarting it. It might have something to do with... No, it wouldn't have anything to do with the ports. Okay, now we'll start it up. No dependencies found. Launching. It might have to do with my application code as well. Okay, and I'll just reconnect. CDP, and I'll start up my application again. Yeah, here we go. Example app listening at HTTP. So that might work still. Maybe not either, even. Does that work? Yeah, that works, but the HTTPS probably doesn't. So let's go into the code and index.j. Okay, wire express. Okay, well, there's example app listening at HTTP. I can change the console log, but that won't really fix anything. So app listen port. My port is still 3000. Okay, let's see. App listen. Do a quick search here, see if we can't solve it. Okay. Node.js app listen SSL. Okay. Okay, Express create server. Oh, okay, this answers here. Better to look at the answers than the question. Okay. var HTTPS require HTTPS. Okay. So let's put that in here somewhere. Yeah, put it up here. var HTTPS require HTTPS. This is See, now we're getting into some real programming here, right? Var options. Oh, and certificates. Path to key, PAM, cath, assert, PAM. Ooh, right. Var create server. Yeah, listen. Okay. So we'll come back into here. Yeah, listen. But I'm going to need my certificates, right? That's what the options are. But I don't know where my certificates are. Will this tell me? I'm looking for, yeah, this. I might not be able to solve this without help. Nothing new there, right? Environment settings. Okay, so SSH access. Reviewing your public SSH keys. Okay, these are my keys for, oh, that's different. That's SSH access. That's not SSL. Following the link, clicking the enable button. Following the link, right, and this is it here. Built-in SSL. Oh, well, yeah, my thing should be, maybe I just have to set up a new endpoint. Because I shouldn't, yeah, I should, okay. Back up. All right. Here's, okay, dang. Here's my environment, but there's also a built-in load balancer that just doesn't show up in this diagram. All right. That's the thing that I established when I said set endpoints. So it does the SSL for me. I could do it manually with Nginx, but I let the system do it for me. It's easier, in theory. So this doesn't need to be SSL. My Node application does not need to be SSL. I don't need to mess around with that. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove this. Right? If I was doing the SSL stuff all manually, I'd need to do all of that. But I don't need to. It's behind a load balancer. So I'll just save it, and it's exactly the way it was. Okay. But I might have to remap my port. Remember, here I'm listening on port 1108, right? Because I thought I was listening on port 3000. Now, it might map a different port here. So let's go to the port mapping, wherever that is. Can I remember where that is, or am I going to have to look it up? Cancel. Application. Okay, Node in MySQL. Endpoints. Here we go. Okay. So let's remove this endpoint. And let's add an endpoint. Protocol TCP. Private ports 3000. Node ID. Public port will be set automatically. Now let's add. Now, is there anything here about? Oh, right. And, we'll just call it node. There's nothing here about it being SSL. So I'll add. Okay, it's going to say 11008, and here's the access URL. So I'll copy the access URL, come back up here, I'll paste it in, 11008. There's OK. Yes, that's what I needed to do. Programming languages. There we go. Oh, that's still secure connection failed. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask for help on this because that should work, right? Like, why wouldn't it work? Unless it's simply not going to work for ports. Why wouldn't it work? Let's try editing it. Is there anything? Private port? No, no. There's nothing that would indicate that it's SSH. Okay, let's, we'll just cancel out of there. Let's do a quick lookup. Reclaim. SSH access for endpoints. Maybe I'll put Gelastic in here. Okay, missing setting up Foundry. Choosing a non. Okay, solved by Timmy Boy. Well, that's good. Found it used a non-standard port, but the port was still proxied by the shared load balancer. Okay. Okay. Variables. I'm checking. Okay, no, I don't have a public IPv4 checked. Yeah. Let's see if he says anything in his article. Okay, we'll just go back to the article and keep moving along. Because he does do some other stuff, but right now it's still a mystery. Okay. Okay, so the next thing he does, now he's going to get the download link for the Linux version of Foundry, so he's going to install his application, right? And now what he's going to do is create a symlink. So here's what he's doing. We want it to auto start when the container launches. So when anytime this, not this, where'd it go? Anytime this starts up, right, it'll start these containers. But the containers need to start the software that's inside them. So this JavaScript Node.js application server from Gelastic or whatever it's called these days, it automatically starts that default application in root. Remember that? So what Taylor did, you can I guess, go in and change what application it should start by default. And he doesn't say how to do that. What he does is he simply substitutes his application for the root application, which I think is pretty clever. Now, there's certainly limits to what you can do with that, but here it is. So he just creates a symbolic link. So this is the application that currently starts up automatically. He uses a symbolic link so that this is the application that starts up automatically, his Foundry app, and he does that by using a symbolic link command, or symlink. And we need to also make a symlink from Foundry's default config directory to where we actually want our data stored in the home folder where it's easy to find. We haven't hit that because we don't have like express data. We're putting our data into a database, so we don't need to mess around with that, but we do need to mess around with this. So okay, we'll just copy this. So I wish, see, now he's using a relative link here. So I wonder where he is. When he executes this command, or whether it matters. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know enough about symbolic links to know whether it matters. So what I'll do is I'll just go to the main directory. So let's go to the main directory. Where is the main directory? In here. So we'll go into our SSH. We'll just start a second session. So we're in the same place basically as the first session. The reason why I went into a second, oops, I don't need a third session. The reason why I went into a second session is because, oh, well, this isn't even running anyways. Okay, never mind. I was going to say because we're actually running the application, but we weren't. So, all right, so let's do this symbolic link. So I copied it from before, and the copying did not take. Let's try right click. No. It's so stupid. I don't know why copy and paste is so unreliable. So I'll copy it this way, Control C, and I'll pop on over here, Control V. Try that again. No. Maybe a right click. No. Copy and paste. You'd think it'd be easy, but it's not. Control C. Just gonna there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna try copying it from there. Why am I doing it like that? To change the color of the text. Does that make a difference? Haven't a clue. There we go. But it did work. Okay, so now my root, so that's index.js, and let's see, let's establish exactly where it is. Programming languages API, and it's in the main directory there. So I can just copy that, so maybe I won't have to paste. I won't have to type it all out. Who knows whether that'll work. Okay, come back into here. Okay, we're still here. So, okay. There, that worked nicely. So let's do that. Failed to create a symbolic link because the file exists in root server.js. Okay, so I guess I do have to remove root. Okay, so let's rm-r root. No, rm-big R root. This is going to remove everything in that directory and that directory, I think. Yeah. Use rm-r really carefully. All right, now let's try it. No such file or directory. Okay, let's try it. Out. No, it's gotta be. It has to be there. Well, that's kind of weird. No such file or directory. Well, okay, let's. I know, same. I shouldn't have expected a different result, but. So I want it to be from root/server.js to Programming Languages API. What directory am I in? Home, Elastic. So what I'm going to do is make this not relative but absolute. Home, Elastic. Still no such file or directory. So maybe the root directory has to exist. Now let's try. Ah, that seems to have worked. Okay, so I guess I didn't want to get rid of the directory, just all the stuff in it. Okay, let's see if that actually did anything. Now I shouldn't need to restart to make this work. And what should happen now is it should just go to my index, and it clearly didn't have any sort of effect. Definitely not the effect I wanted. Let's go back and see what he did. Okay. To just make this symlink. We will make a symlink that will allow Elastic to launch our application. Now when you restart your application server, okay, so I guess I have to restart it. Let's try restarting it and see if that helps. So we'll stop it. Yes. Okay, section. Okay, it's stopped. Let's try starting it. Okay. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought I'll do these two things quickly and then get into some real code. But that is not happening. Alright, now let's see. So this should now open up my, it should just say OK. And it doesn't. So because it still uses the index.html file that's sitting there. So, all right, I think doing this symbolic link is a bad idea. Because it's not simply that it starts here. BTT resources. I mean, it's the index file as well. Yeah. So I think, okay. By default, so it's configured to launch the server.js in the root folder. Instead of adjusting this, so let's try adjust Elastic start in root folder. Let's see what that gives me. Okay, can add a VCS, and for root, create a symlink through WebSSH, or add a deployment hook. Well, that's even worse. Okay. 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 There's a procedure of code insertion into some standard operation to apply some customization. This functionality allows you to execute your custom scripts before or after the application deployment. Okay, now that's almost written in code. Certainly doesn't seem to be English, but I will add Node.js to the search. Okay. Maybe I should have read this to start. Create an environment, choose an application server, choose vertical scaling, choose horizontal scaling, set your pricing, name your environment, choose a database, choose VP storage if required, create environment, deploy node to the environment. Okay. Deploy the app to the environment. On deployment, choose deploy from, install packages, and that's it. Nothing about making it start up automatically. Okay. Stupid cookie thing. Deploy socket stream. I have no idea what that is. Start the application. No. You have to learn to read documentation pretty, yeah. Okay. Node.js. Okay. Ways of Node application to cookies. Launches the Node server. Okay. Server troubleshooting, server tuning possibilities. Oh, maybe in variables. Let's try looking in the variables and see what we find, shall we? Might be in here. No, that's not what I wanted. I want the wrench. No, that's not what I want. Arr. Settings. That's what I want. Is it? Custom SSL, change under migration, export, load alerts. No, that's none of what I want. I'm looking for like environment variables. And I'm not seeing anything that would resemble that. This admin panel. And it takes me to PHP MyAdmin. That's not what I wanted. It takes me insecurely to PHP MyAdmin. Well, that's different. Here we go. Check. Try this. No. No. SSL. We've seen that. We don't need custom SSL, scaling, collaboration, change owner. No. So it's none of this. Application server add-ons. No, we're not even close to being able to do add-ons. Settings. No. Wrench. Mount point, routes, exports, hooks. No, nothing. Cron. Geelastic. Anything in here? Oh, look at all this stuff. Oh, this is actually, okay, this is all my files. These are all my files. I could probably actually go in and edit files in here. Somehow, maybe, I don't know, but it's not what I want. There's a place to find environment variables, but I don't know what it is. Clone environment, no. That's not what I had in mind at all. Whatever that did, just all that did is mess up my display. Let's try reloading. My display is messed up now. I don't know if this will reload. It's been taking a long time to reload, and sometimes it doesn't. So this has been a problem for me, and this step is actually not one I can rely on at the moment. So that's not the one I wanted here. Has it started? No. Well, crap. Now it's simply not going to start up for me. How annoying. Yeah, this has been a problem recently. and I don't know whether it's let's try starting it. Last time this happened, I tried starting it in Chrome, and then it sort of worked. Yeah, see there, it worked in Chrome. It's still not working here in Firefox. Okay. And even worse, my environment has disappeared entirely. No. No. Remember, it was. Oh, there it is. Node and MySQL. Good. Okay, so I'll just keep using Chrome while it's failing to load in Firefox. Domain binding, no. Okay, reclaim, cloud, environment, variables. Okay, region. Configuration files. It shows these things, but it doesn't show you how to get into them. Variables, there we go. That's going to be it. The gear thing, wherever that is. Okay, so let's try to find that. There's a gear, and nothing happens when I click on it. Okay, cancel. Gear. And this doesn't have a gear. It has a wrench, but that's not the thing I want. Yeah, you see, there it should be there somewhere. See, that's what happened last time I did that. It just sort of, and everything kind of vanished. Oh, okay. No, still a wrench, still a wrench. Oh, there's a gear. Ah, this gear. Variables. Variables. Okay, here we go. Okay, that was hard to find. Now, root directory, home gelastic root. My root directory is going to be home gelastic, whatever it was. Programming Languages API. Copy. That's the other thing too. I could just move everything into that root directory and change the name of index. So that might even work. That's a real kludge. Still hasn't loaded in Firefox. Alright, so there is my new root directory. Web root, okay. Oh, I wonder, maybe it's trying to, no, there's nothing in here for it to try to run. No. And I've emptied this basically. Oh, there's server.js has managed to replace itself. Let's delete it. And we'll delete this. Okay, now there's nothing for it to run in there. And if it still somehow produces that paint program, I'm going to want to tear my hair, because it should not. Where's my application gone? All right, here we go. Service unavailable. 11008. No, maybe it's simply not running. Unable to connect. Okay. Let's go back in. Okay. Just apply all of that. Now let's, okay, it's refreshing. Is it running? Okay. It says it's running. It says it refreshed. Let's go in here and we'll try to start up the server again. CDP, okay, and now we'll start it up. Cycle back through all those commands. I'm just using the up arrow to do that. Now here we go, node index.js, start it up. Okay, it's running. SSH connection. Okay, that part's still not working. Secure connection failed. Let's see what happens if I just go to this. Application down. And what happens if I do this? It's going to keep trying to reload in HTTPS. Okay, well at least I get some help here. Wait a few minutes and refresh the page. Okay. Check your application logs. So those will be in there. Alright, let's do that. Oh, still nothing working there. Application logs. Here we go. Node.js log. There is no file or directory open. Oh. It's trying to open Home's Elastic root package JSON, but I've removed it. So the simply change the symbolic link didn't help a bit, did it? I think yeah. CMD entry point. No, that doesn't tell me anything. App file should be index.js. Apply. Save and apply. Oops. It's going to do that. Okay. Now, where'd my little, oh, here we go. Variables. Okay. Exposed port. Right. So 443 is what the SSL port would be, and that's fine. Or Oh, Docker exposed ports. Let's give it a 3000 anyways. Save. Home dir. Master host. Master ID. No environment development. That's for sure. Package manager. Paths. Exclude ports. No SSHing from outside. Root directory. Opt. Stack user. Apply. So that's everything. But it's still trying to find it in root, I'll bet you. We'll clear the log and try to run it. And we'll look at the log again. And it's empty. Okay, let's try 11008. Okay, that sure is an error. See if there's anything in the log again. Nope, log's still not there. There won't be anything in here. Boy, this sure is annoying. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to figure this out. So, I tried to do two things today, and they both failed. And I'm going to blame Taylor. Taylor Jadin for writing such a terse article that I couldn't figure it out. This won't be a comprehensive tutorial on Foundry. Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't care about Foundry. So, yeah. Okay, so basically I'm going to have to ask them a question. And the next video will be based on the answer I receive. And then we'll try to get this puppy running in SSL and automatically started. And I know that doesn't seem like much, but I guess it's more involved than it appeared reading this article. So that's it for this episode. I'm going to go watch my hockey game now. Go Canada, go. Talk to you all later.